Right, hey everyone, welcome back to Treats for the Beast. And I know this one is coming out on Monday instead of a Friday. That is because I had Festival of the Photocopier last weekend and I was smashed getting ready for it. It was pretty hectic. I came up with 6 new zines in total. I know that some of you would have seen some of the zines in progress, and yeah, it's gone really well. And I have realized looking at my YouTube today that I've messed up somewhere along the line, probably over December, January, the holiday season, where I had to skip a couple of weeks of newsletters, but I kept the scheduling for the YouTube posts the same, so they've come out sooner than they should have. So instead of making it 8 weeks for when they go public from here, I think I'm going to make it 4 weeks, just to make it so that I can keep that consistency going for now. Otherwise, I'm going to lose it real bad. And if I actually schedule the next one for 8 weeks from when it was recorded, it won't come out until next month. And that means no new episodes until next month for YouTube, which isn't super helpful. So yeah, I'm going to make it a 4-week lag, which still means that you guys get everything first and everything while it's still hot, fresh, and relevant. And I'll still be encouraging YouTube to, if you're watching this right now on YouTube, if you want to get these newsletters and find out about all the different things that are open and submissions that are available and all that kind of stuff, while they're still fresh and hot, then definitely join up for the newsletter on Ko-fi, because that is up to date. Like it's the weekly relevant stuff. I'm pretty tired today, so bear with me. I'm going to ramble a little bit. Let me have a look, see here. Okay, so what is news? Yes, Festival of the Photocopier. It was really, really cool. It was my first zine fair. I've done conventions before, but I haven't done a zine fair specifically. And it was really cool. It was a whole different vibe, but everyone was really friendly and chatty. I got to spend the day hanging out with my buddy Dylan Naylor, who is an Australian comic book creator and has been in the industry since the early 90s. So that was rad, getting to hang out and chat and get to know Dylan a bit more, like a real proper chat. That was really cool. And got a lot of people interested in the next sketch card jam, which will be in April. But, you know, let's talk about that. It went so well. Everyone's sketch cards turned out really, really good. I can't remember if I showed you mine last week or not, so let me find it and I'll show you my Lizard Wizard. Here it is. So here is my little Lizard Wizard. And that will be available on my eBay and my Etsy store soon. Probably later today or tomorrow, I'll get it up there. But I also ended up making stickers of the Lizard Wizard. So those will be available for a future Snail Mail Club, but not this month, because this month is all about the Muppets. So because the Muppets show just came out, the sticker this month is going to be Foot Ninja Kermit. The print this month, I don't have the 6x4s ready yet, but the print this month is going to be a group shot of the Ferals, which is Australia's answer to the Muppets. And the creator of the Ferals actually worked with Jim Henson. I believe it was the Dark Crystal that she worked on just before she came back and then made the Ferals. So that was really cool. So the print will be a group shot of the Ferals, because I absolutely love the Ferals. And I'm probably going to do a couple of Muppet sketch cards for this month. I don't generally intend on sketching new thematic sketch cards every month, but I'm really, really excited about new Muppets, so I'm going to doodle some Muppets. And yeah, some of those sketch cards will be available. I'm going to say that the 20th of February is when I'm going to start shipping Sketch Club, Sticker Club and Sketch Card Club tiers for Snail Mail Club. So if you are subscribed, they'll go out after that. If you're not subscribed yet and you want to get an original one of one Muppet sketch card and these stickers and stuff, sign up this month before the 20th. Well, by the 20th at least. You'll still get it anytime between the 20th and the 30th, the 28th of February. But yeah, the sooner the better, because I'll be shipping them out on the 20th. So whoever is signed up will get first pick. Anyone who signs up after shipping has started happening will get to pick from whichever ones are still available after I've shipped off those ones. But I'm really excited about that, so stay tuned, watch this space, because there'll be some updates about those as well. In further sketch card news, I am working on this Captain Planet sketch card, which will be available soon as well on my stores. And I'm doing a little bit of a sketch card trade with a buddy of mine, Adam Markowitz, who you will know from The High Cost of Living, and also the Snuffles and Wiggles Sitting by the Campfire print that came out with the Kickstarter. So I'm doing two little sketch cards, which you can't see what they are yet because they're barely visible. I've only just started on them. But one is going to be the Trenchcoat Samurai from Adam's webcomic, Trenchcoat Samurai, which is available on his Patreon right now. Go read it. I will link it below. And also, let me just see if I can find it. Yes, there it is. Okay. The next one is going to be Selm from Broken Bear. So I'm doing those two sketch cards for Adam. And Adam is drawing Snuffles and Teddy Valentine from The Network Man for me. So I'm really excited about that. I'm very, very excited about that. It's a bit crazy back there, never mind me. And yeah, if you and I are like IRL pals, mutuals, let me know if you want to do a sketch card trade. I love to. I've got a binder that I've started. I've showed it off in previous newsletters for sketch cards by buddies, and I want to collect more sketch cards of my characters by friends that are in the industry and artists who I admire in the industry. But let me get back on track, and I'll show you a couple of the pages of Sketch Club. So it's come out really nice. Everyone did such a great job with their Lizard Wizards. I'll post a video here, actually. I forgot to post it the other day. But there's a little interview with each of the artists. The digital version of that will be available right here on my Ko-fi store very shortly. I'm going to try to make a couple of the other mini zines digitally available for free for subscribers. I just got to figure out the best way to do that, and I'll figure that out probably tomorrow at this stage because the day's getting on and I have to quickly do this, edit the subtitles and put it up for you. And it's 5:38 p.m. and I usually finish work at 6. But yeah, my new zines that I got finished. So you want to go on a podcast, which is tips for lighting yourself, getting your sound as best as it can be, and framing yourself well so that you look and present really well if you're a comic book creator or just a creator of any type looking to go on the podcast circuit, and especially if those podcasts have videos, and even just making TikTok videos and YouTube videos to promote your stuff. These 3 tips will help you and help you to do it on a budget. You don't need fancy lights like I've got. I've got a pretty fancy setup. I've got 4 screens here, webcam here. I've got a phone stand here, which is what I'm using to record this because I just like the crispness of this compared to the settings of my webcam. And I've got 2 proper panel lights here, and then all these backdrop lights and everything. So, I've got a pretty crazy setup. You don't need that to make yourself look good for the podcast, and that's what that is about. Also is I Love Being a Turtle, which is my little love letter to the Ninja Turtles. It is the first in a series where I'm going to put my favorite sketch cards that I've drawn in there, and they'll be basically just little mini prints that you can cut out and have. Oh, the Humanity, which is the new webcomic that new mini comic that I made with Guava Jagular, and it's my silly joke, and it is your problem now. and Guava executed it perfectly. I knew that Guava was going to be the right choice, that they would be fully on board and have perfect suggestions on how to execute it the best way visually, and they did. They had some really great suggestions, and it's a really, really fun collaboration. And of course, Get Snuffled Idiot was done for this. I got it all finished. Just Make Art, which I've shown you before, remade an appearance, and Sightings Volume 1 was made for this. I'm going to put up a poll sometime soon for what creatures you guys think should be in Sightings Volume 2, which I'm going to not work on right now. I've got a few other things in progress, but I'm going to work out who I'm going to draw for it so that I can have it ready for Halloween in October. And maybe even have a couple more volumes, you know, who will see. But I want to do a poll soon to decide on the next batch of cryptids and get started on that sometime in the near future. I may or may not do the same process that I did for those ones. I might do it a little bit differently this time. We'll see, haven't decided. I like using the zine format as a way to try new techniques and processes and stuff and new art styles. So we'll see what happens in volume 2. What else is happening right now? I've finished submitting my information for We Suck at Comics. So hopefully soon I'll be able to announce when that's hitting Kickstarter or whatever. I was looking forward to being able to announce that for you, let you know. I'm waiting to hear back about Oz Comic Con in Melbourne. I don't know if I'm going to be doing that one or not yet, but hopefully. I'm planning to apply for some grants this year. There's a few that I'm keeping an eye out for when they open up. One I'm planning to apply for to try to get me to Scamp, Sydney Comic Arts Marketplace in Sydney, of course. I really would like to table up there and get to meet some of the other local creators, and of course get to hang out with Sorab from Comics.one in person. So if I can get a grant for that to help me get up there, that would be huge. You know, it would help me build Sketch Club. It would help me build my own audience, introduce my comics and books to a wider audience, and just grow the Australian and Aotearoa comics creators Discord more, which I would really like to be able to do. So fingers crossed for that. There is a slightly larger one by another Ballarat organization that is backed by the council. And I'm going to apply for that to try to make a the horror pitch that I've mentioned a couple of times on here with Minerva and Harry. That grant is for $5,000. And if I could get that, that would go a pretty big way towards that pitch. I believe, yeah, so let me just do some maths here. Yeah, it would pay for Minerva's pages if I could get that grant. It wouldn't cover Harry's fees, but it would pay for Minerva's pages, which would mean that if I could get that done and then pay Harry for a couple of sample pages out of my own pocket, then we would be ready to pitch. But I would also be ready to take it to Kickstarter in order to get the book finished. The book is going to be roughly 30 to 32 pages. That's roughly where I've outlined up to. I've got a few changes to make that Devin Whitlock has suggested I make, which I 100% agree with, because I could feel it when I was writing it that this isn't quite there yet. Something needs to change, and Devin had some great changes to suggest, which was really, really kind. Didn't need to do that, so I appreciate you, Devin. And yeah, speaking of which, go check out Devin's socials. I'm going to link Devin below because Devin has something hitting Kickstarter, which is like a Wild Wild West Cthulhu themed anthology thing that they've got a story in. So I'll link that below so you can check it out. And yeah, go back that because I've got several friends that are in that anthology actually, but Devon is really, really wonderful. Is the editor on Snuffles the Indomitable before the beginning. And yeah, it has given me so much advice and tips and tricks for a lot of the stuff that I'm writing at the moment. And I really appreciate it. So go support Devon. Um, excuse me. But yeah, if I can get that grant, that would cover Minerva's rates for the entire book. And then I would just have to do a Kickstarter to pay for the coloring. But being able to go to Kickstarter while saying that the line art for this book is done, it just needs to be colored and lettered now, that'd be cool because that wouldn't take that long at all. And that would be really exciting. So very, very cool about to have that if I can. Yeah. Excuse me. Ooh. I've already applied for another small equipment grant to hopefully get a new camera. I'm borrowing Robin's camera at the moment, which, fuck, I haven't gone for a photo walk for like 2 weeks because of the Festival of the Photocopier stuff. I should do that this week sometime. But yeah, I need to get my own camera so Robin and I can do walks together, and I can do my product photography and stuff without having to worry about having their camera. So I've applied for that. We'll see what happens. If I don't get approved for that, there is other equipment that I need that I probably will apply for the next round of small equipment grant. I'm going to need to upgrade my printer at some point. It's really giving me the irrits. So I'm going to need to upgrade that to something that's easier to service eventually. And I would like to upgrade to one that can do edge-to-edge printing, because that, especially for these zines, would save me a lot of heartache if I can just print all the way to the edge, borderless printing, instead of having to trim the little white edge around, because that gets old real quick. That would be cool. What else is news? I have been working on the Snuffles the Indomitable outline, finally, that you've all heard me talking about many, many times. Whoops, covering the microphone. Yeah, that you've all heard me talk about so many times. I'm finally working on it. I'm about, yeah, it looks like halfway through updating it. So I'm going to try to finish that tonight and build it out. And once I can do that, then that means that I will be able to start plotting the first arc, which means that I'll be able to actually start making the webcomic soon. So I'm really excited about that because I would like to be able to have the first page, the first pages of the webcomic hitting the internet by the end of this year. That would be very cool. I'll probably drop like the first 5 pages for free on my website and then make a subscription tier on Ko-fi for it, or Patreon, something, one of the two, to get that financial support going to try to keep making stuff. And then eventually, release the pages for free in time after, each page will go up individually for subscribers, and then maybe every 10 pages after that, release a chapter for free on the website once it's done. So subscribers get it regularly, and people waiting for it for free will get a chunk every so often. Something like that. I'm considering setting up this exact same thing that we're doing right now on Patreon, because some people have their preferred platforms. So I'm thinking about opening the newsletter and the Sketch Club tier, the Snail Mail Club tiers on Patreon. No difference in content, so you won't have to subscribe to both. It's just the exact same thing, just available on both platforms because some people have their preference for which one they use, and Patreon has that brand recognition backing it. But I haven't done that yet. I'm just still deciding. It's not that much extra work. It's just copy pasting really, but do I want to do it? We'll see. I'm thinking that I might do it and then just leave my Patreon there. And if people ask me about it, hey, do you have a Patreon? I can link them, because some people are hesitant to use Ko-fi because they've not heard of it, even when you explain to them that it's the same thing as Patreon. Like, oh yeah, but I'd really prefer Patreon. I'm used to Patreon. I'm thinking about having that option there. But I think I'll still keep promoting my Ko-fi because I like that platform. I like that platform more. Shoot, what else is going on? I think that's all the major news right now. Oh, Lewis is doing really well on the thumbnails for Snuffles. I was talking to him earlier today / last night, and he's going to try to lock in the thumbnails in this coming week so that we can actually just start doing pages. We've started talking about rates for him to make sure he gets paid for the Kickstarter and that sort of thing. So that's exciting too. I'm going to start setting up the Kickstarter page for it soonish. Just filling out all the information and stuff like that so that all I have to do later is drop the graphics and stuff in. Same for Double Billing Volume 2. I've already built the basics of that Kickstarter page and thrown in a header and stuff like that. So I've got to add more of that information once I finish doing the frames and backgrounds for the pages for the Tussle in the Golden Triangle story. And Jenny is working on her pages for the Network Man. So once that's done, I'll go. I'm not going to launch it until all of the coloring pages, all the pages ready to be colored are flattered at least. And then I can launch it and be like, hey, the book is all done except for one story needs to be colored. I'm doing that right now rather than having to draw it and finish it like I did with Double Billing Volume 1. I'd like to have it at least 70% done. And so yeah, Double Billing Volume 1 will probably go out first, and then Snuffles the Indomitable Before the Beginning will probably come out after that. And Snuffles the Indomitable Saltwater Taffy, I'm not sure when that's going to come out. I've got to polish that script up a little bit and finish doing some character design sketches for Anthony, and then Anthony can work on it in his spare time. And when that's ready, it'll come out. What else is being worked on at the moment? Well, there's Northern Mayhem, which is that pitch with Minerva and Harry. That's a horror. I've finished the first draft outline. Now I've got to tighten that up. I'm going to be polishing up some scripts for the Little Book of Beasts. I still want to get that done. That's going to be a bit more of an expensive one because there's several artists involved that I want to pay them all. Just whatever their rates are that they're asking. So that's going to have a bigger Kickstarter goal. So that'll probably be, I'll work on those scripts now, but that'll probably not hit Kickstarter until after both Double Billing Volume 2 and Before the Beginning are done, so that I have those behind me to show people that, yeah, if you support this book and help me get to its end goal, you will get this book and it will be fun and good. Yeah. Adam Markowitz and I are talking about something really fun and exciting. It may or may not happen. It depends on how much work it is. So if it does, I will have an announcement for you about that later in the year. I want to do the Scarlet Horror soon, which is an expanded version of another pitch for one of the Limit Break Comics anthologies that I didn't get into. And it was for the Greek myth and noir one that they did. So I'm still going to write that and expand it out from the 4 pages to probably, I'm going to aim for 10 pages. It might be a bit more, and then just draw that one myself, I think. Again, get more practice doing sequentials and just get it out cheaper. I'll have to read the fucking Blambot book about lettering before I do that so that I can actually do a good job on the lettering. Because my lettering on Snuffles, Get Snuffled Idiot, was serviceable at best. This panel here is probably going to go up as a design on my thread list later because I like it. So it'll go up on t-shirts and stuff. I think that's everything, honestly, right now. Let me just have a look at anthologies, see if there's anything new or anything that's currently open. Paravox volumes 1 to 4 are still open. Dead Ducks Murder Mystery Zine is still open until the 20th. Simple but Complex is open until March 2nd. It's a Twisted History anthology. Lesser known comics is still looking for 1 to 8 page stories in black and white. I wonder if I could put this in there. I could reformat it to a page to put it in there. I'll see. Diskette Press is looking for comics and zines from queer creators with a rolling deadline. Those look like the main ones. I'll drop all the links below for you. Yeah. And I know I haven't put all the links out for last week's one yet, because I was so busy getting ready for Festival of the Photocopier. So I'm going to do that tomorrow so that last week's and today, this week's are good and done and ready to go, with all the links and information for you and the subtitles and everything like that. Yeah, that's everything for now. I think I haven't really discovered any exciting new resources this week, but actually, go sign up for the Etherington Brothers newsletter. I'll drop it below because their Kickstarter for the next How to Think When You Draw books is launching soon. I'm really excited about that. Touch wood, hopefully I can afford it because I really want to get some of those books. I can probably only afford the first 3, you know, once you factor in shipping and everything. But here's hoping I can make enough money to afford it. I think I need about 200 bucks once I do the exchange rate and factor in the shipping and everything. I think that's about how much it's going to cost me. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, watch your space. All right, thanks everyone. I will see you next week. Please drop any questions, comments, suggestions below for things that you want me to talk about on Friday, or any, you know, of these other projects that you want to hear more about. You know, let me know in the comments below and I will break them down and answer those questions. If there's any comics that you want to hear me talk about while we're talking, I've mostly just rambled on about what's happening here in the studio today, but you know, I do want to talk about comics and my thoughts and feelings on them a little bit here in the newsletter, but I need to get a bit more organized for that. So let me know what you want me to talk about in the comments. See you next week.